Hey there, friends and neighbors. Good to see you again. Welcome to another edition of the Chronicles. Jedi Phoenix with you here once again as usual. And today I have for you some more lightsabers from my collection to show off. And just to explain a little bit of the backstory on how these arrived from Ultra Sabers. I placed an order last June for lightsabers for myself and my sons. They were supposed to be Christmas presents. Well, at the time, Ultra Sabers does a thing about 3 or 4 times a year where they actually have lightsaber giveaways. Depending on how much money you spend, you can either get a free initiate, which is one of their bottom tier sabers. You can get a free grab bag, a free mystery box, and if you spend enough, you can get a free Franken saber, which is a one-of-a-kind, never see it anywhere else, unique saber that they craft with whatever they've got laying around the shop. So, as it turns out, my order qualified me for all 4 sabers. So I had the 5-man ones, and then the 4 freebies. So 9 sabers. And I placed that order June 1st, and it arrived about 6 weeks later. I know arrival times with Ultra Sabers is a bit of a hot topic, but for 9 sabers, I think 6 weeks is pretty reasonable. But what I have to start off for you is the Initiate V2, version 2. They have versions 2 through 5 available on the site. And it does look a little bit on the plain side, maybe at first glance, compared to some of the other hilts that they have. But one thing I've seen around the web, especially on Saberform, which is a message board website that Ultra Sabers runs. They don't run it, they host it. But I am a member there. And a lot of people who have been doing this longer than I have, they'll take the sabers and they'll customize the hilts. They'll do weathering treatments, wraps around the handle, and just really make these look a lot neater than they may be. Although, to be honest, you look at this one, the plainness of the hilt, there is something nice about it. For one thing, when you're grabbing it, there's nothing really on here to jag your hands on. They get your hands caught up on here. So it does make it very nice for swinging this around. And I'll turn this on so you can see that is a bright blue. That's the camera does not like that at all. But hold this down so you can see me. One thing I do like about the short blade, turn that off a second. All the Initiates come with a short 24-inch blade. I guess they call that the Shoto style. And this really makes it nice for swinging around. You just got to be a little bit careful not to, if you give yourself some space indoors, it's really nice. You can even grab it, reverse it. If you had 2 Initiates, you could really have some fun there. But this is just one of the sabers. I keep my other sabers on a shelf with the blades out of them, but I keep the blade in this one if I just want to grab and swing it around, twirl it around for the fun of it. This really is a nice one for that. So that is the Initiate V2. And it's probably one of the cheapest of the hilts. It's about $55, $60 or so on the website for the hilt. So this is a nice one. The grab bag sabers that they have are any saber from their lineup done in a stun configuration, no sound. And the one that I ended up with is this one. This is their Apprentice lineup, and this is version 5, well V5, the LE version, meaning it has the gold highlights. And light this up so you can. It's not as bad as the blue one. One thing I do like about this is the windows on the emitter. I love the windows look on some of these hilts that they have. And the one thing about using this, swinging it around. If you're not careful with your hands, around the windows, there's not, I shouldn't say sharp edge, but it is a bit of a rough edge. If you're not careful, you can jam your hand on there and not scrape it, but you definitely rub up against it. But if you hold the saber like around here, then you can swirl it around and not worry about getting caught up on anything. And because of its size, it is a nice one-handed saber. But like any of the other sabers, if you just adjust your grip, you can have a two-hand grip on there. But the one bad thing on that is you cover up the windows when you do that, which is the whole point, I think. So this one goes for about $85, I think, on the site. So I'll admit it wouldn't be my first choice of a hilt, but it is nice, I will admit. And for a freebie, you know, don't like a gift horse in the mouth, right? So can't knock that. Now, the mystery box that I got. With the mystery boxes, it is totally a random saber. There's two values of the mystery boxes, the $75 and the $200 mystery box. Now, with the $75, odds are you're going to get a stunt configuration, no sound, but there is a random chance that you would get a sound configuration. If you pay $200 for the mystery box, then it is a guaranteed sound. And with any of the mystery boxes, you might get lucky and end up with an emerald configuration or the diamond configuration, which is the really souped up top of the line, you know, as far as sound and colors and selecting what you want to do. If you get a $75 mystery box, I wouldn't hold your breath to get an emerald saber or a diamond saber. With a $200 mystery box, you got a better chance. But this one is the Shock. And this is about $164 for the hilt on their website. Total value of this one, I did the configuration for the math. This is about $180 saber. And I'll turn it on so you can see the color. No sound on this one, but it is green. And I do like the green with the chrome. I think that's a really nice combo there. And again, like the Initiate, the all chrome, it does look a little bit plain, but if you wanted to customize this, you could. But for me, I'm going to leave this one alone. If I get really brazen enough, I might try to customize the Initiate. This one I'm going to leave alone, though. But the beauty of this one is, other than the CoverTech wheel, there's really nothing on here to jam your hands up when you do the swing, especially if you do the Obi Ante, which I mentioned in an earlier video. I can't do the Obi Ante to save my life. I have tried. I keep on swinging like a broadsword. But those of you who do know the Obi Ante, this is a good saber for that. You keep your hand right there under the emitter. That's a pretty good place to hold it before you go to swing it. And actually, Stony Magnum is another YouTuber that I watch a lot of videos on. He has a great tutorial for the Obi Ante. I'll leave a link to him in the description for that particular video. Definitely check him out if you haven't already. He's got a lot of good stuff. Really, a lot of good lightsaber videos and unboxings, and talking about different companies. But this one I do like. I have used this in duels and messing around with my kids, and it really holds up well. This is a nice one. So with the Frankensaber, as I mentioned, it is a one-of-a-kind item that you get, and this is the one that I ended up with. I think this is pretty wild. And it did take me a little bit of while to research the website to figure out exactly what went into this. The main hilt is the Raven, which normally has like a double claw setup, almost like fangs sticking up, covering the blade. What they did on this emitter was they used two claws from the Dark Warglaive emitter. But besides the main hilt, they use an overlay from the Mantis CE, which is, the Mantis is, it's inspired by Count Dooku's lightsaber. It is a curved lightsaber. They have different versions. They have the Azure Mantis, which is the blue, the regular Dark Mantis, the Crimson Mantis, and then the CE version, which is like all chrome or silver, whatever you want to call it. This is the overlay for that, and then the pommel is from the Mantis CE as well. And they also did some kind of wire setup around the pommel that they might have just thrown that on there for fits and giggles. It does give it a nice look though. But after I placed that initial order, I emailed Ultra Sabers and I asked if there were any upgrades I could get, like for sound, maybe flash on clash. And they said, yeah, no problem. We can give you they gave me a list of whatever options I could pick from. So what I did was I picked sound, V4 Obsidian, which is the 7 or 8 sound fonts, which I did in a different video. I'm not going to run through them here. But the Obsidian V4, flash on clash, and an illuminated switch box. And I'll turn this one on so you can... So they gave me green. And this one's loud. I thought the Fallen was loud. This one's got some sound to it. And as far as the flash on clash, I don't know if that comes through. The silver. That's pretty wild. That takes a minute. So, I don't really duel with this one that much now. I did it first, and my dueling is just me and my kids messing around in the backyard. But one thing I did notice is I was swinging this and whacking it around. The claws were starting to pop loose a little bit, and I did not want to lose any of the things on this. So I just stopped and I grabbed the shock and went back outside. So I have retired this as far as dueling, but I still take it down from the shelf and I'll swing this around, just to get a feel for it. One thing about this one that they did, it's got a lot of weight to it. I mean, this one's easily heavier than the Fallen. You're not going to do any twirling with this thing by any means. This is actually like a lightsaber claymore. If you've ever seen Braveheart, you know that big, massive sword that William Wallace carries. This feels like that. I mean, the hilt is huge. You can take the blade out of the hilt and use this for home defense. Anybody comes at you, just buries the claws into their head. Ka-shunk. So, but I do like this one a lot. So, but, so those are the 4 freebies. Pretty short and sweet for a video. Oh, I do have one more I need to show you. I even nicknamed. Well, one thing I forgot to mention. This saber I've nicknamed the Emerald Fury because it is green, and I think with the claws it does give a pretty, very bad look. You don't want to mess with this. But there is one other saber I got to show you. The Hasbro Special. This is, you never forget your first. This, of course, is based on Luke's from Return of the Jedi. This is the old Hasbro glorified flashlight that I picked up in the 90s as a kid. And it's seen some action. My brother had the Darth Vader one, and we just beat the blazes out of this thing. But we had fun. I've long since retired this, but I didn't have a heart to get rid of it. You know, the sound's a little rough, but it's an oldie but a goodie. But that'll do it for this edition of the Chronicles. I will be back soon with another video. I hope those of you who stumble on these videos, I hope you're enjoying them. Comments are open. I do ask that you keep them clean and respectful, but if there's anything on your mind about any of the videos I've seen, please post them, and I'll do my best to reply to anybody who messages me. But until I see you in the next video, be good, be safe, be well, and be happy.